You have to understand something. Your life was never ordinary. From the moment you entered this world, there was a mark upon you, a seal that heaven placed over your soul, declaring that you were not like the rest. Every struggle you endured, every battle you fought, every season where you felt crushed under the weight of rejection, it was never random. It was the shaping of one who has been chosen. The truth is, you've just come through what heaven called the final test. This was not a punishment, but a proving ground. God allowed the fire, the storm, and the silence, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. And now heaven speaks. You passed. You endured what others would have broken under. You stood when others would have fallen. And because of this, God Himself has stamped you with His approval. That's why you've always felt different. That's why people turned against you without cause. That's why the road felt lonely. You were being separated, refined, and positioned. What tried to break you was actually proof of your identity. You were never abandoned. You were being qualified. And now, heaven announces your graduation. You are chosen. You are approved. You are stepping into the fullness of your calling. If this word resonates in your spirit, subscribe right now. Comment 111 to declare your divine approval. And share this message with another chosen one who needs to hear it. From the very beginning, you knew something was different about you. Even before you had the words to explain it, there was an inner knowing that you were not like everyone else. You didn't fit into the patterns of this world. You didn't blend in easily, and no matter how much you tried, you could never silence that quiet voice within you, reminding you that you were set apart. This was not your imagination. This was the mark of the chosen one upon your life. There is a light that has always surrounded you, even when you walked through your darkest valleys. Others could sense it, though they often could not name it. Some admired it, but many feared it. Some were drawn to you, but others despised you without reason. This is because the mark you carry is spiritual, not physical. It disrupts darkness wherever you go. It provokes resistance, because even in silence, your very existence testifies to the presence of God's hand upon your life. The rejection you faced was never evidence that you were unworthy. It was proof that you were marked. If you were ordinary, the enemy would have left you alone. If you carried no assignment, the world would have embraced you. But the very fact that you have been misunderstood, excluded, and attacked is the confirmation that heaven has always had its eye on you. What people called failure was actually God's seal of ownership being made visible. Every trial you endured was not a curse. It was a sign. It was God shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the weight of destiny. You had to walk through the fire so that the gold in you could be revealed. You had to endure rejection so that your approval would never again depend on people, but on God alone. You had to be misunderstood so that your identity could never be confined by the opinions of man. The truth is, chosen ones are rarely celebrated at the beginning. They are hidden, tested, and pressed, because God cannot allow what is precious to be wasted in the wrong place. That is why you were set apart, even when you longed to belong. That is why the door closed when you thought it should open. It was not cruelty, it was divine protection. You carry the seal of heaven. You were born with it, you were tested for it, and now it shines upon your life as undeniable evidence that you are God's own. The mark is not something you earned, it is something you inherited. And because of it, nothing and no one can erase your identity as the chosen one. There is a reason your path has felt lonely. There is a reason why the very people you thought would stand beside you turned their backs, why family misunderstood you, why friends could not remain, and why relationships you cherished fell apart. For a long time you asked yourself, why me? Why does love seem so fleeting and loyalty so rare? But hear this, rejection was never a punishment. It was a separation ordained by heaven. When God marks you as chosen, He cannot allow you to be tied too tightly to people who do not carry the same destiny. Rejection, though painful, was the scalpel of God cutting away attachments that could not go with you into the next season. What felt like abandonment was actually divine protection. You were never cast aside. You were being set apart. Chosen ones walk lonely roads because isolation is the classroom of the Spirit. It is in silence, when you feel unseen, that your spiritual muscles are built. It is in solitude that your discernment sharpens, your ears grow attuned to God's voice, and your faith learns to stand on something greater than human approval. While others find validation in crowds, you were being trained to find it in the secret place with God. Every tear you cried in private became oil for your anointing. Every night you felt invisible was a season of being hidden, not forgotten. God does His greatest work in hiddenness. Just as seeds must first break beneath the soil where no one can see, your soul was germinating in the silence. That hidden breaking was necessary for the greatness in you to sprout. Understand this. People who walked away were never meant to carry the weight of your calling. If they left, it was because God saw what you could not. If they turned against you, it was because their spirit recognized something their mind could not explain. You were too bright, too destined, too set apart for them to handle. Their rejection was not about your lack, it was about your light, and so the loneliness you endured was not wasted. It was your final exam. Could you stand without applause? Could you remain faithful without validation? Could you believe in the unseen when all visible support was gone? You passed, chosen one. You proved that your faith is not built on sand, but on the rock. Now heaven declares, the season of isolation was preparation. You have learned how to stand when no one stands with you. You have discovered strength in solitude and found God's voice louder than the noise of the crowd. That is why you are ready. That is why you are approved. Never again mistake rejection for failure. Never again believe isolation is abandonment. Rejection was redirection. Isolation was consecration. And the fact that you endured it means you are now qualified to walk into destiny with unshakable authority. You have passed the test. Chosen one, something has been happening inside you. Quietly, steadily, unshakably. While the world only saw your pain, heaven was watching your transformation. The rejection, the isolation, the tears, the unanswered prayers, they were not wasted. They were chiseling your spirit, sharpening your discernment, and awakening a power that was always there, but hidden. You can feel it now, can't you? Your intuition is sharper than it has ever been. You sense things before they happen. You can walk into a room and immediately feel the weight of the atmosphere. You know when someone's words don't match their intentions. This is not paranoia. It is prophetic sensitivity. It is the sharpening of your spiritual senses. What others call coincidence, you recognize as divine revelation. And with that sensitivity has come an increase in authority. Where you once felt timid, you now feel bold. Where you once questioned your worth, you now recognize that heaven has approved you. Your resilience has been forged in fire. What used to shake you no longer moves you. What once would have destroyed you has become the very thing you now stand upon as testimony. This is how you know. Your hidden power is rising. Notice the resistance around you. Have you felt how, as you draw closer to your purpose, opposition increases? The sudden conflicts, the unexpected setbacks, the strange spiritual pressure pressing against you. It is not random. It is confirmation. Resistance always rises against those who are stepping into greater authority. If you were not a threat, the enemy would not bother with you. But because your hidden power is breaking through the surface, you have become a target. Do not despise the pressure. Pressure proves that you carry weight. Pressure proves that there is treasure inside of you. Just as oil is only released from the olive when it is crushed, and diamonds are only formed under intense heat, your hidden power was only revealed through the tests of silence, rejection, and endurance. You would not know your own strength if you had never been pushed to the edge. Think of the seasons where you felt voiceless, when no one listened, when your prayers seemed to echo into emptiness. Those were not wasted moments. That silence was training. It forced you to lean on the whisper of God when the crowd was gone. It taught you to hear truth in the stillness, a voice clearer than any human approval. That sharpened your discernment. Think of the rejection you endured when doors closed and people turned away. That was not weakness, it was the chiseling of your spirit. Every no carved away the need for validation. Every betrayal strengthened your resolve to find worth only in God. That fortified your spirit with resilience. Think of the endurance it required to keep walking when everything in you wanted to quit. That endurance built spiritual muscle. It taught you to persist without evidence, to believe without proof, to keep moving when nothing made sense. That endurance is what now makes you unstoppable. Chosen one, you are no longer who you were. You are stronger, wiser, sharper, more resilient, more discerning. The tests have revealed you. The hidden power that once lay dormant is now rising, undeniable and unshakable. You passed the test, and now heaven releases you into a season where your authority cannot be silenced. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why your life has been marked by unusual battles? Why others seem to walk freely through seasons you barely survive? Why you've faced storms that feel relentless, trials that seem unending, and warfare that comes at you from every direction? This is not coincidence. This is not bad luck. This is the evidence of your destiny. You have always been a target because of what you carry. The attacks against your life are not random, they are strategic. From the very beginning, the adversary recognized the seal of God upon you. Before you could even name your purpose, the enemy knew you were dangerous. He could see what you were destined to become. He could sense the light you carried. That is why, even in childhood, you faced things others didn't. That is why you have been attacked in areas of identity, self-worth, relationships, and even your mind. The enemy hoped to break you before you could rise. But hear this clearly. The size of your attack reflects the size of your calling. You have faced giants because you are called to slay them. You have endured storms because you are called to command them. You have fought battles in silence because your destiny is to set others free from chains they cannot see. Every attack was confirmation that you carry something the enemy fears. Think about it. If you were ordinary, why would hell waste its resources on you? Why would darkness spend so much energy trying to stop you? It is because you carry influence. You carry authority. You carry a destiny that cannot be duplicated. And every attempt to destroy you was actually proof of just how valuable you are in the kingdom. Yes, the attacks came in many forms. Some were spiritual, unseen battles in your mind, in your dreams, in your spirit. Others were personal, people you trusted turning against you, relationships collapsing under weight you didn't expect, financial struggles pressing you into survival mode. At times it felt relentless, as though life itself was conspiring against you. But what looked like destruction was actually training. Every battle you survived taught you strategy. Every attack you overcame built endurance. Every storm you weathered gave you authority to stand in places others cannot. And here is the truth. If you are still here, it is because you are unstoppable. The enemy tried to break you, but you bent and did not break. The enemy tried to silence you, but your voice still rises. The enemy tried to convince you that you were weak, but now you stand stronger than ever. Surviving the attacks is your proof. You are approved, and nothing can remove God's hand from your life. Chosen one, stop viewing your battles as evidence of weakness. They are proof of strength. They are the enemy's testimony of who you really are. You were never fighting for survival. You were fighting because of destiny. And now, because you passed the test, every weapon formed against you has failed. Every curse has been broken. Every attack has only elevated your authority. You are still standing. That alone is your victory. You are unstoppable because heaven has already decreed it. You are chosen. You are approved. And your destiny cannot be denied. Chosen one, hear this. Passing the test has changed you forever. You did not endure those trials for nothing. Every storm, every rejection, every attack has brought you into a new level of spiritual authority. What you carry now is not the same as what you carried before. You have been promoted in the Spirit. You have authority that cannot be earned by comfort. It is only forged in fire. God has entrusted you with gifts that were once dormant, but now they are stirring awake within you. Your prophetic insight is sharpening. You see things others miss. You hear whispers of truth that others cannot discern. And you sense danger before it arrives. This is not imagination, it is revelation. Heaven has opened your eyes to a deeper realm of discernment. Because you passed the test of silence and obedience, your gift of healing, whether in body, soul, or spirit, is rising. The same pain you endured has become the oil you now carry to heal others. When you speak, people feel peace. When you touch lives with kindness, hearts begin to mend. You carry the balm of restoration because you know what it feels like to be broken and restored by God Himself. Your wisdom has deepened. You no longer think as you once did. Trials taught you perspective. Attacks taught you strategy. And rejection taught you discernment. This wisdom is not ordinary, it is divine. It allows you to lead, to guide, to counsel, and to uplift. And your influence, though it may still feel hidden, is powerful. You may not see the full reach of it yet, but your words carry weight. Your presence shifts atmospheres. When you walk into rooms, the unseen world takes notice because the authority on your life has been stamped by heaven. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the time to silence yourself or to question your worth. You have been approved. You have been equipped. The tools within you are not for hiding, they are for using. Your gifts are divine weapons meant to break chains, open doors, and release others into freedom. Do not fear your own greatness. Do not minimize what God has placed inside of you to make others comfortable. The final test was proof that you are ready. Ready to prophesy, ready to heal, ready to influence, ready to walk in wisdom, ready to carry authority with boldness. Chosen one, this is your season of activation. Step forward. Own your gifts. Wield them with confidence. Heaven trusts you with them, and the world is waiting for the sound of your authority. Chosen one, the season you are entering is unlike any season you have known before. For years, it felt like you were being tested at every turn. You were stripped of relationships, finances, opportunities, and peace. You endured silence from heaven and pressure from earth. It felt as though life was a continual examination of your faith. But now the test has ended. You are stepping into a season of release. This is your graduation moment. Heaven has announced its verdict over your life. Approved. You have been found faithful. You have endured when others gave up. You have stayed when others walked away. You have believed when evidence was nowhere to be found. And now God says you are ready. No longer are you in training. You are being released into your assignment. This is why it is critical that you shed the old identity. You cannot continue to see yourself as a victim of life's blows, as someone who is merely surviving. You must step into the reality of who you are, a chosen vessel, anointed, appointed, and released. You are not surviving anymore. You are ruling. You are not wandering anymore. You are leading. You are not searching anymore. You are walking in what was already written. Obedience will be your compass in this new season. The instructions you receive may seem small, but they will carry great weight. Trust them. Follow them. Move boldly when the Spirit says move. Delay will cost you, but obedience will unlock doors that were once sealed shut. Boldness will be your weapon. You cannot walk into this season timid or apologetic. The authority you carry requires courage. Speak when you are called to speak. Act when you are commanded to act. No longer hide in fear of rejection. You have already been rejected and survived. No longer shrink back for the comfort of others. Your mission is greater than their opinions. And trust, deep, unwavering trust, will be your foundation. You cannot predict everything that is coming. You cannot see every detail of the road ahead. But you can trust the one who has carried you through every fire. You can trust the hand that has never let you fall. You can trust that if he has approved you, he will also sustain you. See this moment clearly. This is your graduation. The long nights of testing were your classroom. The rejection was your exam. The endurance was your thesis. And now you stand clothed in authority, carrying the approval of heaven. You are not waiting to be chosen. You already are. You are not waiting to be qualified. You already passed. You are not waiting for a sign. The final test was the sign. Step into your divine role with your head lifted high and your spirit unshaken. You are not what the world called you. You are what God has named you. You are a leader, a healer, a voice, a light. The time of proving is over. The time of releasing has begun. Heaven announces you are approved. You are released. Walk boldly into destiny. Chosen one. You need to understand that nothing you endured was wasted. Every tear, every rejection, every night you thought you would not survive, it all counted for something. You were not suffering aimlessly. You were sowing in pain, and now the time of reaping has come. Because you stood firm, because you refused to quit, the rewards of your endurance are now being released over your life. One of the first rewards you will notice is divine protection. Where the enemy once had easy access to your mind, your heart, and your surroundings, there is now a hedge built around you. You have been sealed. You have been covered. Attacks may come, but they will no longer have the same power. You have authority now, and heaven has assigned angels to guard your steps. Protection is not just a promise. It is a reward you have already unlocked. Next comes breakthrough. The walls that once held you back are crumbling. The cycles that seemed endless, the financial struggles, the closed doors, the constant setbacks, are breaking in this season. What once resisted you will now release to you. Your endurance in the valley has positioned you for victory on the mountaintop. This is not just theory. It is manifestation. Doors that were shut are now swinging wide open. New alignments are also part of your reward. The people who could not walk with you were removed, but heaven is now sending those who are assigned to your destiny. You will meet connections that push you forward, relationships that nurture your purpose, and divine helpers who were hidden until now. Every disconnection made room for divine alignment. Understand this. Your endurance has unlocked rewards that were previously withheld. God does not release treasures into untested hands. The suffering was not punishment, it was preparation. The wait was not denial, it was timing. You are being ready to handle the blessings you are now stepping into. What once felt delayed is now arriving in fullness. So lift your head, chosen one. Expectancy must rise in your spirit. Do not brace for the next attack. Prepare for the next breakthrough. Do not fear another closed door. Expect an open one. Do not dwell on what you lost. Anticipate what is being restored. Your struggle was the soil, and now the harvest is here. The rewards of standing strong are not small. They are abundant, undeniable, and unstoppable. Protection surrounds you. Breakthroughs chase you. Alignments lift you. And above it all, God's seal rests upon you as evidence that your endurance was not in vain. Chosen one, hear this with the fullness of your spirit. You are chosen. You are approved. You are unstoppable. Nothing you endured was wasted. Nothing you survived was meaningless. Every trial, every rejection, every silent battle was your proving ground. And now heaven declares, the test is complete. You are stepping into a season where destiny will no longer wait in the shadows. This is your time of unveiling. The years of struggle were not evidence of failure. They were the evidence of preparation. The fire that once burned you is now the fire that fuels you. The wounds that once defined you are now the scars that testify of your survival. You are not broken, you are proven. You are not lost, you are found. You are not weak, you are rising in unstoppable strength. God's voice over you is clear. You passed. You endured. You are ready. And because of that, no power of darkness can block what has been sealed. No opinion of man can reverse what God has already spoken. No attack can cancel the approval of heaven. You are released. You are activated. You are walking into doors that were built for you before you were even born. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your true chapter. Walk boldly. Live with authority. Claim your inheritance. Stand as the chosen one you are. If you know this word was for you, declare it boldly in the comments. I am chosen. I am approved. I am unstoppable. Subscribe now for more messages of empowerment and share this with another chosen one who needs confirmation today.